Palestina Universe Citizen presents New Era Religion Episode 53 Part 2, May 26, 2022. Q&A, Algorithms, or Choosing the First Conceptual Subdivision of Universe. Continuing from Episode 52 Part 1 with one paragraph from the introduction. Now, with the wellspring of knowledge from Bucky Fuller's Synergetics Explorations in the Geometry of Thinking, humans of a mind, our evolution species, is informed of the geometric and topological models described and illustrated therein. Still, the self-educating mind can seem to know that Synergetics induces comprehensive considerations and a need to explain what is learned therein for further assurances. Let's tune into this session between Q and A. Q.
Are you talking about a comparative reality basis?
Compared to zero phase of unity and the Synergetics model of exact balance, which happens to be the vector equilibrium, which, by the way, is an empty set tetrahedron. The mathematical definition of field is not comprehensively elementary or as useful to systemic thought as a tetrahedral cosmic accounting is.
Is that it? There has got to be more, right?
Imaginably. Even the binary yes and no operations eventually require conscious awareness of the energy synergy environment to which and from which the conceptuality of the metaphysical generalized conceptioning field of systemic thought's minimum thinkable set corresponds to the anticipatory design science realities and the geometry of general systems thinking.
So, the thinkable set is essential for further examination and comprehension of the first subdivision of universe into systems, right?
To be sure, since awareness of systems starts with universe, occurring as a non-simultaneous aggregate of all human experiences. Synergetics 326.00. Besides, sum totally universe is a scenario, but the total universe is non-conceptual. Therefore, the tetrahedron as the minimum thinkable set and the minimum structural system is the first conceptual subdivision of universe that is also the topological patterning characteristics describing the constant relative abundance of 6 lines, 4 triangular faces, and 4 corners, which read n to the second power minus n divided by 2 equals 6, where n is 4. This is a tetrahedral equation.
Are you saying all human experiences comprise an aggregate that does not occur at the same time, therefore is non-simultaneously conceptual? Then in common to all human experiences is universe's minimum structural system as the basic event experience?
That is what I am saying, since all structuring can be identified thus.
By thus, you mean identified in terms of the topology of the tetrahedron shown in the tetrahedron equation?
Yes. There are many ways to write and read about this conceptuality that requires a generalization of patterns. If humans do not know there is this gleanable tetrahedron patterning, how could we begin to recognize the single conceptual system that provides a common language of universe for humanity's cosmic accounting, both metaphysical and physical? Synergetics 251.50.
Since you asked, then this suggests that I must now think deeper about all that universe provides. Would this be when and if exact balance becomes important to my personalized reacting observations of the reenacting articulations relative to accounting and accountability?
That is a more accurate consideration than starting with historically disturbing contextual parameter and its P or JW factors, which more obviously are not generalized systems of universe as omni-rational thought, language, minimum structural system, eternally regenerating integrity patternings.
So, those PRJ factors are belief complex schemes known by the complete acronym PRJWBCS, which is not exactly a bona fide generalized system of universe, right?
That is what I can make of it. From all I've observed in the world, most of which is inherited from previous generations, going way back in history of human civilizations. It induces tendencies to conformity as a compromise without substantiating reason to differentiate systems from schemes to such evolutionary degree.
How have these important differentiations been missed, as the PRJWBCS seem to become more irrational as competing beliefs makes everything worse?
The oversight dates back to the cradle of civilization's womb of permitted ignorance. That was way before commencing consciousness evolution by starting with universe, defining it as non-simultaneously occurring aggregate of all human experience, which can also be referred to as the womb of total human consciousness. That's what Bucky Fuller calls it, having differentiated those wombs and what induces awareness of the term matrix, which is synonymous with womb, from Latin for mater, mother.
Did anyone, before or after Bucky Fuller, explore and discover what we are learning now about explorations and mensurations, the geodesic models that are illustrated in Synergetics?
Not to my knowledge.
Can those event models, one of which is the vector equilibrium as the model of exact balance, provide omni-rational solutions for our 21st century humanity?
From my self-educating experience, I think the answer is yes. But our 21st century humanity is also in the grips of artificial intelligence, AI, and the algorithm that technologically seems to favor it.
Could it be one way or the other? I mean, choosing either algorithms or the first conceptual subdivision of universe into a self-regenerative, structural, integrity system coinciding with omni-rational reality?
I think so. And maybe educating interests on the world stage ought to seriously reevaluate what drives the epistemological process. This seems to be especially relevant wherever compromises and profiting at our humanity's expense clearly redirects human populations as potentially conforming slaves. The slave mentality conditioning invalidates us as an intelligent evolution species.
Is that really possible? To populate planet Earth with robots? To outnumber humans?
That depends on the minimum thinkable set, anticipatory design science reality, and the referential field of thought, I imagine. Since humans have a choice in every step of the way concerning redundance and non-redundance, and to quote Bucky Fuller, stable equal non-redundant.
To be continued in Part 3, Episode 54, with relevant links at the end of the video podcast. Thank you.